Oh,
Okay. Uh, Today I wanted to discuss about multiple inheritance. So what does multiple inheritance means? What are the common problem that we can see in multiple inheritance and how we can avoid them? Okay. So what does multiple inheritance mean? Okay. So what does multiple inheritance mean is, so basically you can inherit a class. Let me draw a drawing. Okay. You can have a base class. Okay. Let me not use this. Just very, very small. Okay. Let's see. You can have a base class. Sorry for this symbol.
okay, no problem. In
And
Excel also you can do that one. I can understand.
so you can have a base class. Okay. Now someone can inherit him. Okay. Was good. Okay, it's just crashed. I'll do this. Okay, okay, we can have a base class. Okay, now this, then we can have a derived class. So okay, or you can say is base class 2. Okay, assume this is base class of type 1. Now we're gonna have one more final class as derived class. Okay, so this derived class can inherit this and also this. Okay, so we have a derived class which can also inherit a base class of type 1 or base class of type 2. Let me put a shape. Line, line, line. Okay, so what does it mean is, in when you write your code, okay, you can have something like this. Base class 1 with some properties. Okay, now we can have class 2. When I say some properties, it is some functions. Okay, now you want to create one more class which can inherit both the properties. So how do we inherit them? We would just say either if you want to inherit publicly, or you can say privately. uh, 2. Now what he will have is he is going to this way of declaration called multiple inheritance. Okay, wherein one class inherits more than one class. Okay, so this type of property we can call it as multiple inheritance. Okay, so in this format what we can have is we can have some functions or variables declared here which can be also part of this other class, some functions and some variables, the base class can also have them. Okay, so end of the day what happens here, the derived class will by default have all this inherited. So all these classes will be inherited here. Okay, so now when I create an object, I can make a call to base class one functions, some function name function one. I can make it some function two. So I can call this function some function.
So both classes function we can inherit, right? In derived
Yeah,
class means
yes, we
basically
can
means
inherit more than one
okay.
class.
Hmm. So if you want also one class, we can inherit one class.
If you want one, if you want to, you can keep it one, you can keep it two also. Okay, so this mode of this is what we call it as multiple inheritance, wherein you can have multiple classes being inherited by one class. So you can have both both the functions you can call, both the variables you can access and make changes. Only thing they should be public, only then they are visible. Okay, public or protected, only then they becomes part of this class. Okay, am I clear with this, right? So what is multiple inheritance? I'll give you an example also. Okay.
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 So we can say also base class one is father, base class two is mother. The derived class is children. So you can take the both property of the father and mother.
So
Right?
technically,
That inherit.
so what happens is like, so when we, okay, you can say parent, and this is child. Now,
Yes. Yes.
now
Inherit
child
means
can
that Uttaradhikari, you can say right in Hindi.
whatever,
Yes. So
something like that. Okay,
in English meaning is like that only, I can say.
yeah,
Inherit.
maybe they are getting those properties what others have. Okay,
Yes.
now we can. I have written a small example wherein I have created something like a class by name refill. Okay, so I have a class by name refill. Okay, so now I am and it has some functions like what color am I? Okay, what color am I? And what is the implementation is draw. Okay, so I have a class. Okay, which has a variable which stores what are the color that you want to create. It's like you have a factory of pens or factory of refills. You are trying to create refills. Okay, so now this is a factory which is creating refills. Okay, so the refill, what is the when you create a refill, what you would do is you would create some space so that someone else can fill the ink. Okay, as you are just creating a refill which doesn't have any color. Okay, and but you are providing an interface through which I can look, like if you make it transparent, okay, someone can see what is the color out of it. Now you can make it draw, like you just hold it unscript it, it should draw. Okay, so you created a class something like this. Okay, which has a space to store a color, which has a space to store a color, and interfaces. Interfaces means what are the functions that you want to call, through which I can ask what is my color and I can draw. Okay, this is my class. Okay, now I give this class to someone, or I give this refill to someone. Okay, this goes from my factory to other factory where they would like to fill it with some color. Okay, you got what I'm trying to say, right? They would like to fill it with some color. Now assume this refill went to a factory which is manufacturing red refills. Okay, which is manufacturing red refills. Okay, what he would do, how we can declare them is just you can inherit uh, the refill class into the red refill, and you can have a constructor and a destructor. Now when constructing the object red refill, what you can say is my color is red. So the color of red refill, you are just filling it with red. Okay, got it right? Am I clear on this?
Yes, yes.
So you just have a refill which has some space, empty space. Now, if it goes to a factory which makes red refills, he's just going to put some red ink into it, and then it becomes red refill. Okay, so when someone is going to put red ink inside it, it is when they construct it. When they want to construct a red refill, they are going to just put a red refill. But apart from that, you can what other properties that he can have is drawing. I mean, these properties are inherited, like and what color am I? Since that refill is, assume that refill is transparent, you can see what color it is. Okay, I can ask and I can get it. I'm just writing some standard functions. Now, similarly, I have uh, a blue refill manufacturing company where they will also take the same refill. What will they do? They will just put blue ink inside it. That's all. Okay. So now with this, what we can do is let's go. Okay. So these are examples. See, let's in pen. What did I write? Okay. Let's comment this part. Okay. Okay. Now we'll just try to create a pen. Okay. So now what does pen will have? Assume that he is going to have a simple okay, did I write any class? Blue pen. Okay. Now I'm going to create a one more class by name blue pen. So what are the components of blue pen? He is just going to inherit blue refill. Okay. So blue pen is going to just inherit blue refill. So what does this become? So now this is not this is how you do a multiple inheritance, but this is not still multiply inherited. Okay. Now now class diagram for this would be like refill, uh, blue refill, and blue pen. Okay. Now you see all three are same. I'll select, is there no select option? Okay. Now similarly, if I create a red pen, what will it have?
Refill, red refill,
Yeah.
red pen.
Okay. Now what is it that is common among all these guys? So when you create a refill, right? What are we creating? We are creating a place to hold the color type, which is called as line color. Okay. So line color is common here. It is also common here. Okay. What color am I is a common interface here. Next, draw. So all these are common things here, right? In both the cases. Okay. So in all the three cases, they are common, and rest and all are how this factory manufactures this uh, product. Okay. Now uh, the bigger problem comes uh, when okay, so let's do this, then I'll explain the problem. Okay. The blue pen. What color am I? What a straw. Okay. So whenever I have a, I can write a, I can create a factory. What it does is it can just create blue pens. Okay, and we can just test them. Okay. So Okay, so in our class, what we did is we print the class type. Okay, what when I say what color am I, it just printed what is its color, and when you did draw, it is just trying to drawing blue line. Okay, so this is how you just do an multiple levels of inheritance. This is multiple levels of inheritance. So what you see here is multiple levels, one, two, three, and you can inherit one more class. So they all comes under multiple levels of inheritance. But what we saw earlier was this one is multiple inheritance, wherein one class inherits more than one. Okay. Now, when creating a factory, right, or when assume that you've been given a task, okay, to create a factory, to create a factory to which I will ship a refill, and you should be able to manufacture a pen of any type. Okay. So which I means is I would just like to write a function. Okay, create pen. Okay, so this guy, okay, create a pen. Okay, will take a refill, one of the base class. What does it take? He will take one of a base object, very base object. What does it have? What does it is? And you are giving him a option like color, you can say. Okay, in this option, what you would do is uh, you are giving them some option to manufacture whatever pen they want. Okay, let me remove this code here. Okay, so what I meant to say here is assume you are having a factory. Okay, you are going to have a factory which can create pens of any color. Okay, so and how do you implement them is how would you implement them is you would just point pass make a call saying that create pen, and you would give options like what color pen you want. Assume that for blue I am trying to say one. Okay, so whenever someone passes a number of type one, you this guy is supposed to create blue pen. Okay, and on the other end you would just pass a pointer uh, on which he's going to create his pen. Okay, okay, now now what we can do. Okay, so now if this guy will return success saying that he is able to create a pen. So by any chance, if he is not able to create a pen, he will just return some failure message. By any chance, or else if he is able to create a pen, he is going to use it and delete it. Okay. So what this guy should do is he should create a pen of the choice that has been passed. So now we can write a simple switch statement here. Okay. Saying based on the color that has been passed. Okay. We are going to create an object of the type that he wants. Okay. Now similarly, to he let him create red rifle. Okay. So the interface that you are trying to, or the code that you are trying to keep here is very minimal. So you are just trying to create an interface through which you are trying to say your factory is just going to create whatever objects that you want. Okay. But you just need to make a standard procedure. You just need to give us some pointer, like you should send us some empty truck, okay, which can carry something. Okay. And in the truck you need to send us some number of what, or some order, like what is it that you want. Okay. As per your order, if you have sent one, then we are going to give you blue rifles. If your order says two, then we are going to give you red rifles. Okay. Now similarly, if you give us case 3 and 4, we're gonna give you red pens and red pen and blue pens. Okay. No matter what you ask us, we gave you. Okay. Like blue pen, red pen, or blue rifle, red rifle, we gave you. So, but once we say we are able to create, right, you should be able to check what color that we shipped into you, and you should be able to make use of it, and you should delete it. This is what he is going to do. So what I mean to say here is this is how you create an uh, interfaces or factory using which you can standardize some process, wherein whether you get what kind of book, it really doesn't matter. What you're going to do, you're just going to open it and read it. Okay. That is what we call as interfaces, or what, how people are going to use it. Okay. Now in that, assume that whether it's a refill or pen or anything else that you derive on top of it, right, what your customer will do, he will ask for what he wants, and once he asks it, we're gonna give them what he wants, and he's going to check whatever we are given, and he will just do some testing, then he will release it once he's done with it. Okay. Am I clear on this so far now? Right.
Yes.
Okay. So
The brief one, what should you mention? The brief and written one.
no, it's something that is just comment section.
Okay.
Okay. Now using this, I can collect some input here. Let's fill it up with some, let's have this, since this function returns some bool value, right? Let's make, fill it up. So what I wrote here is, if the input that you have given is valid, okay, we are going to manufacture the product that you want and we are going to ship it back. Okay.
Rate what you have taken that 10 file. Yeah? What is that
Sorry,
rate?
which one? Sorry.
That rate, RET rate. It is a 10 file or what?
Readme file or
No,
which one?
not ret. RET. Default RET is equal to false. That's rate. Yes.
Okay, return. Okay. See, what I did is I will collect some input from customer. Okay. Now it
Mm-hmm.
is just a console. From console, I'll connect some input.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Using console, I'll connect some input. And if that number is in range 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll manufacture a product. If that is not in range, I'll just return false. Okay. So when you return false, what happens? The create pen function returns false. And then I'm going to say creation failed. Or you can say your order that you have received is invalid. Okay. Now assume this is a standard interface using which customer wants to use their code. Like he has, you can say that this is what customer says his main application will look like this. Okay, his main application will look like this, and he just want you to implement this. Okay, or your team lead can say this is my main application. Okay, now I just want you to write a function, okay, which can create pens of any type. Okay, and you should create a pen or refill or whatever. I will give you an input. Your function should create it and return. And once I run it, this code should never change. Okay, this part of code should never change. Okay, this code you can change as you want. Okay, you can add as many pens you want, as many refill types you want, or anything you can create and send it back. Okay, so it is like standardizing or normalizing the code. इसके बाद there will not be any changes here. Okay, so what at the max what can happen is he can create one more color pen or color refill. So he will add one more class and he will add a couple of switch cases here. Okay, you got what I'm trying to say, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now let's see. Now he's asking for something. So I entered to what happened? Well, okay, I've taken this. Valid invalid pointer line number. is something happening here. Some code. Let me just check why it is happening. Okay, system pointer. I should have passed a double pointer so that the person on the other end can change it. Ah, good, correct. So I didn't pass the double pointer, so it was crashing back then. Okay. So now if you see, right, I had given an option as 2. So as per option 2, I'm able to create a red pen and draw some line on top of it. Now similarly, I can give 1 and he's able to create a blue refill and he's able to use it. Okay. Now this comes with a multiple what should I say, multiple levels of inheritance, wherein you are trying to say you are going to have a factory which just create pens. Okay, and whenever he create pens, what is it that you are saying, that you're gonna ship an empty container to which he can create a pen and send, and the default color type with which he can mean the pen should have this color, or it can be a pen or refill or anything, should have this color. Okay, now if you see in this implementation, right, you don't see anything going wrong. Like you can create an object of whatever type that you want, and you would not see any issues here. Now, now the customer says, okay, I want to change your factory. Okay, I want to make a change in your factory. Okay, so like where what does he wants to do is, I want to make change in your factory wherein I just don't want a pen. I want a multicolor pen. Okay, I want a multicolor pen. So what does multicolor pen is? That is something. It's a pen which can have more than one color in it. So I think you would have used in colleges. So it's like a pen which can have more than one color in it. So if you see that, right, we can just expand this diagram wherein you can say you can create a blue refill. Oh, let me merge this code. Some reason I'm not able to. Let's use it. Okay. Now what you see here is, now you have an option like multicolor pen. So someone wants to create a factory which has which can create a multicolor pen. Now if you see here, right, so multicolor pen will have what, two refills and filled with colors. Okay, it will have two refills filled with colors, and you when you add them up, you can uh, create a multicolor pen on top of it. Now let's see whether we can create such object. Okay, now what can we how we can do it. Okay, now multicolor pen is nothing but it's a derivation of, okay, it is same as this. Okay, just copy some code from here. Multicolor pen. So now what is multicolor pen? Multicolor pen is just going to have a red refill and blue refill in it. Okay, so what does multicolor pen have? He's going to have a red refill and blue refill in it. So this more than inheriting more than one classes into an object, this is called as multiple inheritance. Okay, now let's see, can we create an object of type multicolor pen, and let's see what is the behavior. Yeah, okay, now create a pen is not here, so we'll just copy this also.
So, why did you use that double pointer there? Any reason behind that? Or
So one minute. Hello.
hello?
Yeah, you were saying something.
Yes, yes. That
Hmm.
double pointer you have used.
Huh.
So, what is the reason behind that?
So double pointer. See, whenever you want to make changes to a pointer in a other function, you need to pass it by reference. Okay, only then someone can make changes to it. Okay, he can create some memory and fill some data into it and come back. Okay, it is like you created a variable here and you want some other function to make changes to it, right? So you pass it by reference. Okay, since it's already a pointer, you are giving the address of the pointer. Okay, that's how this becomes a double pointer. This is a part of basic C, wherein if you want to make changes to a pointer in a function, you pass double pointers. Whereas if you want to make changes to a variable, you pass it by address, and here you would put a single pointer, something like this. Okay, this is for changing variables, this is for changing pointers, content of pointers. Okay, now in the same factory, I wanted to create a multicolor. happening here? Ah, okay. So, okay. Now, what is happening here is, you see, I'm trying to create a object of type multicolor pen. Okay, but this guy is trying to say I am not able to create it because base class refill is ambiguous. So the base class refill is ambiguous, he's saying. What does it mean is, so what does it mean is, now if you see here, this guy has two objects by name refill and refill. Okay, now refill and refill he is having now, but okay, so here you have written a function wherein you are going to pass a pointer of type refill. Okay, this is what, like, run on a runtime. Okay, you can assign any uh, object which is derived from a base class. Okay, so it is like the RTTI concepts that we had, right? Using a base class pointer, you should be able to point to object of any derived class. So blue refill is a derived class of refill. We didn't see any error. Red refill is a derived class of refill. We don't see an error. And red pen and blue pen, they both are also they are derived from blue refill and red refill, which are again derivatives from refill. Okay, but multicolor pen is right. Multicolor pen is what? Is a derivative of blue refill and red refill. Okay, which are in turn derivatives of red refill. Okay, but you see here, you are not able to compile this code. Okay, why is it? Because you are trying to take a base pointer. Okay, and this base pointer should point to one object. Okay, only one address. Now if you see here, right, in our image, okay, as per our implementation, there are two refills, refill 1 and refill 2. So refill 1 and refill 2. Okay, you have two refills. So this guy is trying to say, I don't know to which refill I should point. Okay, that's why I am saying it's ambiguous. Okay, it is saying it is ambiguous. So the interface that you had, like create pen, the interface which you had, like create pen, using which you wanted to create a multicolor pen, will fail immediately. Okay, so the code which you had earlier, which was very generic code. Okay, so someone will come and make a call to create pen, and I will create a pen and result return, and he should be able to see what color it is and draw it. Okay, this all these things fails the moment you add a class which is inheriting more than one class. Okay, which is again inherited by something which is in common. Okay, you got this problem?
Yes, yes.
Like what? Like, now I'll repeat it again. Okay, suppose, okay, you had a factory something like this. Okay, wherein based on the request you will create blue refill, blue pen, red refill, red pen. Okay, anything you can create. Okay, and return. So in order to do that, you just wrote one function, create pen function. You just pass a parameter and just a pointer. Now based on the selection, you created something and returned. Now suddenly you got a new requirement wherein he says he wants both the properties, okay, which is derived from a same base class. That's when you get into problems. Like, see, I have a create pen, but which takes refill as a pointer, but since this guy has more than one, I'm not able to point to which one, which which refill part, whether he's talking about a refill which gets created in blue refill or red refill, which one I don't know to point. So I am facing some ambiguity here. Okay, I'm not able to point. Now, how to resolve this? Okay, now how to resolve this? Now your lead will come and say, no, I don't want to change this interface. I want this interface to remain same. Okay, make some changes in your system so that this will remain same and this should also remain same and I should not see any error. Okay, so this is a common problems that you can see in multiple inheritance. Okay, so what is happening here, or what is it that you want to avoid here is, okay, so here you have two refills, right? Okay, what if I try to reduce these two refills to one? Okay, what if I reduce this two refills to one? Because in both the cases you are having, in both the cases you are having the variable line color, what color am I, and draw. Okay, if I just delete one of them, okay, okay, now I keep it in this way. Now only one, whenever compiler sees such problems, right, can I ask my compiler to convert the previous diagram into this? You want this to be converted into something like this. Okay, this, okay, this is something like what in C++ we call it as diamond problem. Okay, so how you are seeing this, right? This v, how do you want to make this look like a diamond? Okay, this problem is called as diamond problem, wherein you might get a lot of questions on this, like wherein people will ask how, what are the problems that you commonly see in multiple inheritance. Okay, so you can say one of that is this diamond problem, wherein uh, a class which is derived from more than one class, okay, which are inter in which are already, which is already derived from a same class. Okay, that's when you would get into something like dual base class problems. Okay, there will be more than one instance of base class. Okay, in the sub derived classes or top of it. So that's when you will get into these problems. Okay, now the solution that they would ask is, how do you resolve this? Okay, how do you resolve this is what people will ask. So when people ask you how to resolve this, right, you should go and look at your implementation. Okay, so when inheriting, right, when inheriting or creating a pen, how do you want to create this pen matters. Okay, so the problem comes because with this pen, okay, so in this, if I make any changes, can I fix this problem? Okay, so that comes, so we can fix these problems by removing the duplicates. Okay, so whenever in C++ you see this duplicates problems and all, right, the biggest savior is virtual. Okay, this is when you go and say virtual. So whenever you inherit an object, you can just go and say virtual. So what happens here? Okay, the moment you make this virtual, let's see what happens here. This, I put it in wrong place. This error should go off actually. Maybe I put the keyword down. So this multi-color pen is red refill, red refill. And yeah, now you see this problem got vanished. Okay, not here. Okay, okay. So whenever you feel that you have to inherit something, right? To avoid all these problems, you can declare the base class as the derived level 1 classes as virtual. So what happens here is you are trying to say this refills that refill base class, which would be a duplicate, which can be a duplicate in your implementation, right? Okay, this one can be duplicated. Okay, then you go and say when inheriting this guy as virtual. Okay, so if you see in this code, we are the blue refill is going to inherit red refill. So when inheriting it, you just make it virtual. Now whether it's blue pen, blue refill or red refill, you just make it virtual. Then in your implementation, right? In your implementation, you would not need to make any sort of changes. You would not need to make any sort of changes. Now you can see this thing compiles. Okay,
Any one need to be changed, right?
not both.
Both.
In the case
Okay.
refill is an ambiguous place. Where did I say? Compiling multiple outcome here. Tons. Refill and this guy is red refill. Multicolor is pen is going to have red refill and blue refill. Is sometimes sticky. Yeah, you should put it in the front or at the end. Okay, okay. The whole mistake was in the syntax, nothing nowhere else. Okay, okay. So the virtual I should have put earlier. Okay, earlier than public. Okay, that's all was the trick. So if you see now, right, you don't see this error. Okay, now I just need to enter the input. I entered
So
input as 5.
that one should be public, right? With blue refill one. It
So
is
which one? This one, na?
blue refill, yes. Yes, yes.
It's okay. The moment you
Okay.
say public here,
Here I think so that virtual also not required.
yeah,
This virtual also not required. Yes.
just you can just
Only there in that base class we need to change that virtual. That's all.
correct.
Yes.
Now I'll just enter option as 5. Now you see it is multicolor plan. Okay, but you see something like draw blue line coming. Okay, it's a multicolor plan. You see something as drawing blue line that it is coming. Okay, now I'll run the same code with option 4. Now you see blue line. Now I give 3 as input. It is saying red line. Now I give 2 as input. It is going to say red refill and red line. Okay. Now it's 1. It's going to say blue refill or drawing blue line. Okay. So you can see the code didn't change. Okay. But you are able to do all the operations that you want. Okay. You are able to do the same operations, like you can use a pointer, very base class pointer, using which you can point objects of any derived class types and all. Okay, but the funny part here is now you should see how compiler does this actually. Okay, now you saw here it was printing drawing blue line. Okay, now you should think, when I say I wanted to remove one among this guy or this guy, which one got removed? Blue refills, this one got removed, or red refills, this one got removed. Okay, we can check it. Okay, we can check. Okay, using our code. In our code, we are inheriting red refill and blue refill, right? Let's swap this and see what happens. What is the output here? So what I did is I just placed blue refill after, and I just exchanged the sequence of blue refill and red refill. Okay, I just exchanged the sequence of blue refill and red refill. Now let's see what it actually does. Okay, the code got compiled. Okay, now I'm entering the 5 input. See, now answer got red line. Okay, earlier the default one was blue line. Now the default one is red line. Okay. So from this, what we can understand is whatever the object that you place at the end, right? This will be the one which gets created first. Okay. This will be the one which gets created first. And when you create the subsequent instances, any duplicates which you have to create here, right? That will be skipped. You got what I'm trying to say, this? So you suppose I want to create a multicolor pen, okay, in which by default the color that it should have is for red refill or blue refill. You can select that also. Okay, which one you want this to be aligned towards, this side or this side, or when you say print, should it print blue refills initialized data or red refills initialized data? Okay, this you can configure. By aligning the classes in the way that you want it to be created. Now I just swap it back. So now blue refill is created first and on, then followed by red refill. If there are any duplicates which red refill has, which already blue refill created, right, that will be nullified. Okay, it will not try to create any duplicates, and followed by next. So you should see the defaults of blue refill initializations being created here. See, now you see blue line cut content. I mean, your pen has a refill which has blue line by default. Okay, you can make changes to make it red pen also, but you are shipping a multicolor pen with which in which the blue is a default color. You can change it, okay, as you want, okay, and use it. That's your implementation. Okay, you got what I'm trying to say, right? So far, what is the problems that you can see in multiple inheritance? So the common,
Sir, one thing that is why it is coming like 14, 10, 13
which
like that. That
I
multicolor.
think I explained you previously, right? This is the type name,
Same thing, right? Again,
type id dot name. It is just trying to print
type
out
ID.
type id now.
Okay.
So for any class, the names will be given with some integers at the start. Okay. So followed by names.
The type ID is there. So that's why it is
Yeah.
coming.
Okay. Type id dot name. Okay. Yes. So that's all I wanted to cover today for multiple inheritance. This is a common problem that you see in multiple inheritance, wherein you would see this diamond concept problems. No, to avoid that, you would declare then you declare when inheriting, right? You can say inherit virtually. Okay, so that the duplicates will be removed. Okay, any more questions on this?
I know.
Well, this is okay, Smita, any questions on this inheritance? Were you able to understand or? Okay, okay, I think that's all I had. Maybe we'll okay. Tomorrow I won't be available. We'll not have any class tomorrow.
Okay,
We'll
tomorrow,
resume
but
on,
day after tomorrow I'll meet it. Day
yeah,
after tomorrow.
Thursday we'll do. Okay.
Okay, okay.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.